coming to you live. With the best in talk radio. Hey, boys and girls. This is T. Gerard Williams of the T. Gerard Williams Show, the one that you know. Listen, I just wanted to stop a few minutes and I wanted to have a serious conversation with some of y'all out there today. I stopped and asked 10 people what they knew about crowdfunding. Had they ever heard of crowdfunding? And do you know that 9 of these people had no idea what crowdfunding is or was? And so it made me think for a minute, because realistically, every one of us gets up every morning, goes to work, wherever it may be, home-based or, 9-to-5 brick and mortar. We go there with the intention of making money. We go there with the intention of building our wealth program to the point where when we decide or are forced to stop working, then we have a place where we can be comfortable financially. So that's why we go to work. But I was appalled. I was shocked that most people have no plan for wealth building. Then it made me wonder, what do you know about crowdfunding? Have you ever heard of it? We've all seen last summer where they were doing the ice bucket challenge for the ALS, where they were taking ice and water and dumping on their heads, looking like, well, you know what they look like. But I couldn't believe it. And so that's our version of what crowdfunding is. But crowdfunding is much, much more than that. Crowdfunding is really not even a new phenomenon. It's actually an old phenomenon. It's actually something that has been done for years and years and years. And so somebody came up with an idea to call it what it actually is: asking for money, asking for funding from the crowd, asking for people to step up and help us in our venture, in our dream or our passion. And so consequently, that is all it is. But people are looking for it to be some magic bullet, some panacea, some thing that just creates money out of thin air. It's still work, my friends. It's still work. And work is definitely involved in it. So I was wondering, I was thinking, I said, well, let's devote a little time to this show today and clear up the misconceptions of what crowdfunding really is. Now, as a proponent of group economics and groups helping themselves to better themselves, I've always felt that you needed to have a little bit more than what they give you credit for. All right? So having said that, let me see if I can help you understand this a little bit. You can't really function in this world without having all the financial resources that you need. The more financial resources that you have, the better lifestyle you can have. And the worse your financial situation is, well, you've hitting the rock bottom, so that's where the problems come in at. Now, let's see if we can go ahead and help this situation a little bit and help my listeners become educated on what crowdfunding really is. Now, we have been looking at some of the big platforms out there. There are over 600 platforms of people who are actually doing crowdfunding, and they're crowdfunding for everything. I mean, they're asking money for everything under the sun, helping them to go fund their weddings, taking a vacation, getting out of debt. I mean, any reason that you can think of, somebody's thought of a reason to ask the crowd for money. Now, that's okay. As a pastor, my congregation is my crowd, and every Sunday when we ask for collections and we ask for our tithes and our offerings, that is a small crowd, and we're funding from the crowd. That's what every church does, and it's been doing like that since time began. But this is where it becomes crucial. Crowdfunding now offers you the opportunity to expand your reach, not just from the people you know or the people in your city or the people in your county or even the people in your state. It allows you to ask people globally to help you fund whatever it is that you're passionate about. Now, that's the good part. The bad part is Everybody's trying to do it. Nobody really has the right handle on it. And there is one company that I want to share with you that is actually doing it the way it should be done. And we'll talk about that right after the break. The heartbeat of talk radio is the T. Gerard Williams Show. Hey, listen, we're back, and we're glad to be back. Did you miss me while I was gone? I hope so, because I missed you. Listen, what we were talking about was how can one platform outdo 600 plus? Well, every platform, every crowdfunding platform out there has one thing in common with everyone else. There is what they call direct funding. That simply means, boys and girls, that if you have a platform, if you have a dream, you have a passion, you have something that you really want to accomplish and you need funding for that, you can go and ask anybody on the planet how they can help you, show them how they can help you by funding your project. And that's what everybody does. Typically, your chances of receiving a massive amount of funding is limited to the people that you can reach, your contacts or the people that are contacted or connected to you. Now, that presents a problem. Unless what you have, your dream is so important or so significant that others will just jump on board and say, well, I really want to do something with that project. Typically, it's not going to happen. Unless your project is newsworthy and the news picks it up, like the James Robertson story where he was walking to work and somebody thought about, well, he's walking so far in the snow, and let's see if we can help James crowdfund for a car. Well, of course, the news picked it up, went viral, and massive amounts of money were gained and raised for this project. Now, does that happen often? No. Is it typical? No. Can it be done? Sure, it can be done, because it was done. But it's possible, but not hardly. So, so how do you actually get to a position where you can actually fund your project and not lose any money or lose any sleep or lose any friends? Well, there's a platform that has a revolutionary concept called shared funding, intentional shared funding. This group of people builds a community that intentionally, purposely, covenantly agrees to help you fund your project, and doesn't matter what that project is. So, sounds like something that you may be interested in? Of course it is. I'll tell you more about it in just a minute. If you're talking about it, it's because we're talking about it. The T. Gerard Williams Show. Yeah. All right, boys and girls, we're back again. Listen, I've been teasing you, but I've been teaching you while I've been teasing you. Because there is such a phenomenon as crowdfunding, obviously. There is such a way to generate massive amounts of donations from people who don't know you and who you don't know. And yet they are willing to covenantly agree to fund your project. Now, how is that possible? How is that possible? Well, when you get a group of people with a momentum that decides that we're going to go ahead and be helping, we're going to help somebody, we're going to give and then receive, we're going to go ahead and sow and then reap, we're going to go ahead and do unto others as we would have them to do unto us. When you have people with that mindset, that kind of philosophy, that understand that money is available, and it doesn't take a lot of money from a lot of people. It takes a few people committed to helping. And that's what you find in this particular crowdfunding platform. Now, am I going to share the information with you? Of course I am. Am I going to tell you right now on the radio? Not really. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you that you need to connect to a website that I'm going to put on this description in this broadcast so that you will be able to make sure that you have the right connection so that when you go there, you'll be able to do what is necessary for your project to be put together for you. Now, I am pleased to tell you that it works. I'm pleased to tell you that there are people who are doing it. I'm pleased to tell you that there are people that are out there making an enormous amount of funding happen for their business or their project, which could be, like I said, anything. Maybe starting a business, expanding it, helping your church rebuild or to build a new building. There are so many things that you can do with crowdfunding, and like I said, there is no limit. The only limit is your imagination. So if you want to go ahead and find a way to get your project funded, then please take a good look at the description in the description box that details this particular broadcast. I don't want to go ahead and blast it out on the air because there's some people who, well, you know the people I'm talking about. Anytime you tell somebody your dreams, they're finding a way to rain on it. They're finding a way to drag it down. And the funny thing is we spend way too much time listening to people who have not 1 ounce of what we're looking for. They don't have a window. Well, let me go ahead and rephrase that the way it's supposed to be. They don't have a pot and a window to throw it out of. So if you know what I'm talking about, somebody ought to say amen. Listen, I'm going to go ahead and break this off right now. We're going to go ahead and do this a little differently a little later because I really want to spend a lot of time talking to you about crowdfunding, how you can make a difference in your life, how you can make a legacy for your family and make it in a way that doesn't really cost you a lot, doesn't cost a lot of time and effort, and puts you in a position to have money chasing you for a change instead of you chasing money. If you're interested in it, follow up on it. If you're not, then that's okay too. Because I figure like this is what I really believe, that there are only 2 choices in life. You can get wealthy or you can stay broke. That's it. So if you want to stay broke, listen, I'm going to still talk to you every day on the radio anyway. If you're wealthy, then you'll be listening to me on the radio anyway. And with that said, boys and girls, this is T. Gerard Williams. And all I can say to you today is have a wonderful day. That's it. If you're talking about it.